It's Wednesday, October 7th here at the West End Gun Club. Took the day off from work so I could run through the October NRL22 Course of Fire. The match is actually upcoming this weekend. We're holding it 2 weeks earlier than usual. Instead of the fourth Sunday of the month, we'll have it the second Sunday of the month. The reason being is that I was gonna try to make the NRL22X match in Ridgecrest, which is the Saturday of that weekend. And while it's on a different day than the match we would hold here, it's the same weekend. So I'd rather not go to Ridgecrest. It's a 2.5 hour drive each way. And I didn't wanna have to like come home on that Saturday and then kind of just wind down, and then I'd probably vlog too, so I'd have to process some video and on all this stuff. And then the next morning have to wake up early and then come out and set up for the match. So that's why I wanted to kind of give myself a little bit of an allowance there so that I can actually try to shoot another match that weekend. So that's why I'm holding the NRL22 October match at the West End Gun Club 2 weeks early. So might help some people out who can't make 4th Sunday, but we'll see. It's a little bit sporty this morning. The wind is kind of creeping up. I didn't bother to check the weather report before I came out here, but it's about the same as it was Sunday when I came out here with my father just to drop off some equipment. Some cars coming here on the range. I figure some people are just taking some time off to shoot. Fortunately, if you recall from my last vlog, I came and dropped off this rooftop barricade over here, so nobody messed with it in the past couple days, which is cool. So glad, at least for the meantime, I haven't really secured it, but I did bring a kind of this cable lock. I might lock it to it, I don't know. But I have a cable lock in the Jeep and I might lock it up. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just start getting set up. It's already almost 8 o'clock, so I didn't really rush to get out here this morning since I had the day off. So kind of just moving slow, but let's get set up. It's probably gonna take me a solid hour just to get all the stages laid out, and then we'll start shooting. Spent about an hour and 15 minutes setting up the stages and all the targetry. I'm gonna take a quick re-zero or just verify my zero from last Sunday. I think it's pretty much on, but I figure the wind has died down significantly since I got here this morning, and I figure it's a good time just to go ahead and double check things. The flies are relentless this morning. You'll walk around the range and it seems like they're just following you around. So I went out to the impact area to put out the targets, and they just don't go away. You try to swat them away, but they just keep coming back. I'm about to shoot a couple groups at 50 yards, but we're in a bad spot. I caught my mic, the lavalier mic, the cord got hung up on something, and I think I twisted some or broke a wire internally, because now my lavalier mic doesn't work. So right now we're stuck with my, I'm using my Zoom recorder right now with no mic and no windscreen, and it's kind of breezy, so you're gonna hear some wind noise. I think we're okay right now, but at the same time, it's not gonna be good audio. I don't have a backup mic with me, a backup lavalier. I left it at home. I didn't expect to need one, but I'll see if I can get that mic fixed up too. I should see if I get it serviced by Rode. The first stage of fire we're gonna run through is called Helter, Skelter of Fear. It's 120-second part time, 10 rounds. We got 2 targets, 1 1/2-inch KOL at 25 yards, and a 2-inch target on a double hanger at 100 yards. This is the time stage with the bonus points. So you get the 1/10 of a bonus point per second remaining. You're gonna start standing, rifle, and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. Upon start signal, shooter will take a prone position and engage each target with 1 shot. Starting with the 25-yard target and alternating. So you're gonna go 2500, 2500. Once all shots have been fired, the shooter will let the RO know that they have completed the stage to stop the timer. It's pretty simple, 2 targets, you're just going to be transitioning to each one for every shot. And there's no transitions, you're just shooting supported position. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. Finished with 79.05 seconds left. So I think the most difficult aspect of this is that on our range facility, you're going to have to be changing your angles, your angle of your shots. So that's what's going to slow you down. And I didn't adjust my elevation on my turret. I just held over about 1.7 mils, and that's good enough for that. I did adjust parallax. I think you need to. It's just 25 versus 100 yards. Parallax is just going to be too much. So you can try to focus for 25, or maybe even focus for like 30 or 40, and then cut the difference. But I think you probably want to adjust parallax for this stage, but not your elevation. But again, pretty straightforward. And I'll record 79.05, but I guess we round up, so 80 seconds. So I left with 40 seconds left. That's 4 points. 4 points extra on top of my 100. Well, let's move on. Next stage of fire we're going to run through is called All Hallows Eve Battle. This one actually requires 12 rounds, 120-second part time. So it does require a mag change, or you can use an extension, but this is California, so we have 10 rounders. We have 5 banks of targets with 6 total. So at 50 yards we have a 3/4 inch and a 1-inch KYL. 65 yards we have the 1 inch on a double hanger. 75 yards we have a 1.5 inch on a double hanger. 85 yards we have a 2 inch on a single hanger, and 100 yards we have a 2.5 inch on a single hanger. You're going to start standing, rifle in hand, and all gear in hand. Mag in, action open. Upon start signal, shooter will take a prone supported position and engage each target from near to far to near with 1 shot each. Strong side. Shooter will then switch to support side and engage each target from far to near again with 1 shot each. So you're going to go support side, then transition to your your regular side, and then transition to your opposite side for the second go around. But you're going to shoot from far to near. Pretty interesting. And I'm assuming the KYL you're going to shoot those from largest to smallest. It doesn't really say, but we'll assume largest to smallest because the targets are decreasing in size as you come in. So we'll shoot it that way. So that was a little difficult. I actually dropped 2 points, or that couldn't take the last 2 shots because I spent a lot of time hunting for my targets. So I was actually on 15x. I should have dialed down to about 12. And I lost a bit of time. I think I could have made my transition from strong side to support side a little bit better. And I need to be a little bit more streamlined in my adjustments for my elevation and parallax. But I think key thing here is I wasted probably about 6 to 10 seconds hunting for targets. So make sure I was just dialed in too much. So I should have dialed down to 12x or 10x. That was my fault. So lessons learned. But it's a relatively straightforward stage of fire. You just need to make sure you're doing everything in an efficient manner, so you don't time out. But we'll go and move on, and I'll score this honestly. I dropped 2 shots. Let's move on to the next stage. The third stage of fire we're going to run through is called Trick or Treat, Smell My Feet. The 120-second fire time, 10 rounds. We only have 2 targets, both in the same distance. They're 85 yards, 1.5 and 2.5 inch on a double hanger. It's going to be standing rifle grounded next to the 5-gallon bucket, mag in, action open. On signal, shooter will stand by the table. There's supposed to be a table somewhere with candy on it and say trick or treat. The shooter will take 1 piece of candy from the table and place it in the bucket. The shooter will then take a supported position on the bucket and engage each target with 1 shot. We don't want you to spill your goodies on the bucket. We don't want you to spill your goodies, so the bucket opening must be facing up. So the bucket's going to be open, no lid, and it's going to be facing up. Shooter will repeat the trick or treating and shooting process until time runs out or all shots have been fired. So you're basically you're going to take a piece of candy or whatever and drop it in and shoot 2 rounds, go back, 2 rounds, go back, 2 rounds. So you're 5 trips back, or whatever, 5 trips getting into position. I'll just use some rimfire casings as candy because I don't have any candy with me, but you get the point. So I'll just get some rimfire casings and drop it in the bucket as my trick or treat. Should be interesting though, because you're going to be shooting on an open bucket, so you're going to have to use this somehow. I think I have an idea how I'm going to do it, so we'll see how it goes. Trick or treat. 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 Oh, I dropped 1 round, so I think I was waiting for that small target to sort of stop shaking because it's on a double hanger. I think the mistake here is shooting the large target first. Shoots the smaller target first, because when the targets start swinging side to side, the large target is easier to shoot if it's still moving. So I would recommend shooting small target first. That's my mistake. Other than that, you're losing time on the transition, trying to manipulate this bucket. It's the way I'm shooting it, I have the propensity to move it like that, so you got to be careful. I think a more stable way would probably be to shoot over it like this, but I was trying to game it because I have my bipod and I have this spigot mount, so that's how I was shooting it. You could probably, I was thinking about shooting it like this. This is probably the better way to go, to be honest, because you're going to be a little bit more balanced. And you can pull the gun towards you as opposed to pushing it forward. So that might be a little bit more stable. It's your choice. I could have easily finished this up with some time to spare, at least with the way I was doing it. But by, sorry, I didn't have the mic in hand, but by at least shooting the small target first, because I was wasting a couple seconds after I shot the large one for the small one to stop moving. So anyway, good lesson learned there. I dropped 1 round, so that's dropped 2 on the previous stage and then 1 here, so -3. Let's go ahead and move on to the next stage. The next stage of fire we're running through is called It's Like Playing Cards with My Brother's Kids. It's only one target, 2-inch at 75 yards. It's a ladder stage. You're going to start rifle ground and nag in, action open. RO will shuffle the 5 cards. You're going to have 5 playing cards, ace through 5. Shooter will take each card and lay them face down from left to right. On start signal, shooter will turn over the cards in order they put them face down. The number on each card represents the step the shooter will shoot off from left to right. Shooter will engage the target with 2 shots from each step in the order that the cards were drawn. If the shooter isn't tall enough to reach step 5, the shoot off step 5, then that shooter that card can be removed and the shooter reshoots the drawn order after the 4th card. Step number 1 is closest to the ground. I'm not understanding if the shooter isn't tall enough to reach step 5, then that card will be removed and the shooter reshoots the drawn order after the 4th card. Oh, so you just recycle back to the first step that you shot. Pretty simple. I don't have any playing cards with me. I'm just going to go ahead and use the order that they randomized here already, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1. It's about as random as it gets. But just dry fire this, or to run through this stage rather. Should be pretty straightforward. Rifle, ground, mag in hand, 1 piece of equipment. Cool. Let's go and run through it. Missed one. And I totally shot it out of order, so I'm going to go ahead and just shoot 1. I'm just going to alternate randomly here. Plus that'll cancel out the time I didn't take to draw cards. Missed one, so 2 total. So I didn't shoot 4. Shoot 4, that's the last one. Last step here. Missed, 3 total. Okay, drop 3. Barely made it under time, 116 seconds. So I kind of messed up my run through. I was going to shoot in the order at the list here, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1. So I ended up going down to, I was thinking 5 was this step, so I did in reverse order kind of. So I just went ahead and went 3, 1, 5, 4, and 2. So, I mean, that's random enough, right? Just for the sake of a run through. It's a straightforward stage. 2 shots. It's just knowing how to shoot off of different levels, and the ladder, you got to just deal with it, figure out how to brace it, and make sure it doesn't rock. I'm still I'm on the fence regarding this Area 419 bag, this rail changer bag. It has a tendency to bunch up in certain spots, so I think you have to like sort of kind of massage it and make sure it's ready to go before you start your stage. So right now it's like kind of bunched it back here and it's empty here. So I have to learn how to use this bag properly. I can just kind of like shuffle it down like this, and that kind of gets it a little bit more correct. But when you tilt it fore and aft, the dirt or the sand inside the bag, the fill, it'll slide back or forward. So right now it's really bunched up back here. And so it has a tendency to rock right now if it's bunched up back there. See, it kind of rocks. So I think you have to kind of massage it first before you get in. That could be wasting a little bit of time, but anyway. Relatively straightforward stage. May not be easy for some people, but it's straightforward. That's it for this stage. We'll move on to the last one. Final stage of fire we're going to walk through today is called Tank Trap Terror. 120-second part time, 10 rounds. We got 3 targets on 2 banks or 2 distances. We got a 4-inch and a 2.5 inch at 50 yards and a 1.5 inch at 68 yards. You're only going to use, it says you can have 1 piece of equipment. I don't think it's a sling stay is only allowed. Okay, so you can have 1 piece of equipment in accordance with the NRL22 rules on the tank trap, but a sling is only allowed, is the only allowed piece of equipment during the positional part of the stage. Okay, so you can have a sling and a bag, but you can only use the sling while you're in the prone position. Okay, simple enough. Upon start signal, shooter will take a position on any tank trap tip and engage the 1.5 inch target with 2 shots. Shooter will then transition to a standing position and engage the 4-inch target with 3 shots. Shooter will then move back to the tank trap and engage the 1.5 inch target with 3 shots from rope that's on the tank trap that's slung here on the ends. Shooter will then move to a prone unsupported position and engage the 2.5 inch target with the final 2 shots. So it's kind of requires a little bit of memorization here. Missed one, so we're going to do standing at 50, 4-inch. Let's say rope, 1.5 inch. Don't need the bag. I don't know. I'm not going to really do much. I'm just going to try shooting off this tank trap a little bit just to see how it is. Don't really have a bag for it. I need a larger bag, kind of like a pump pillow type style bag. But we'll just see how it works. Audio is going to be like crap again. I broke my lav mic. I'm just holding this mic. We'll see how you can hear me. I'm talking. There's no windscreen on it either, so... Anyway, like I think if you watched my previous vlog, I said there was a 30 degree sort of angle on this. So it's 30 degrees, you know, give or take a degree, but it's pretty dead on. And I put some non-skid paint on here so you can kind of stand on here and you shouldn't slip very easily. Did that for some safety reasons. I was thinking about trying to shingle it, but I didn't want to take the time to tar this thing up, put shingles on there, and it was going to get expensive. So I just did it with, I just got some non-skid additive to just regular paint, mixed it in, and it seems to grip pretty well. So it's definitely still slippery at 30 degrees, even with the non-skid tape or non-skid paint. Definitely is going to require some sort of gaming to stay on this platform, because you know most of the stages require you not to be touching the ground, right? I mean, I could eventually add some sort of like safety piece of wood right here, like a last resort for people to stand on or just to grip on. I don't know, but definitely it's part of the difficulty of shooting on a rooftop, right? I think shingles would have made this a little bit better in terms of more grip, but it is what it is. I could have maybe made this less, maybe a 25-degree angle, but I think 30 is about the, I don't know, this 30 is about the breaking point of what I think is kind of very difficult to shoot off of. Like, that's very too difficult to shoot off of without any extra grip added. But yeah, this is cool. We'll see how it goes. Just wanted to record my outro in the car. Again, sorry for the crappy audio for this vlog. My lavalier mic earlier in the vlog, I broke it, so kind of gonna have some weird audio. It's gonna be kind of mixed levels, but hopefully you guys can deal with it. Anyway, I'm all packed up, about to get out of here. It's almost 12:30, so I've been here quite a long time, but I did get here kind of late. Didn't start shooting till 9, and you know I got to pack, tear down everything and put everything in the Connex container. So hopefully those of you who are watching got some information for the NRL22 Course of Fire. Hopefully you got some tips. I only dropped 4 points, I think. I saved 2 rounds on the 12-round stage, and then I missed 2 on the ladder stage. The 12-round stage, I think it's just more of an exercise of being efficient, minimizing your motions, maximizing your the time in which you're transitioning. So like if you have to do mag change like I do, because I have 10-round magazines only, I don't have a 12-rounder, got to figure out when you want to do that mag change. Make sure you're not hunting for targets. I misdialed I had my magnification too high, so it's my fault. Little things like that. So it's just practicing and make sure you're being efficient in your movements. I think one thing I didn't point out or didn't mention in the sort of the bonus stage where you get bonus points for time, I didn't adjust my elevation, so I was just holding it over for on my reticle, because I have the a mill reticle with crosshairs and the Christmas tree or whatever. I did move parallax, and I think I finished with 40 extra seconds. So if you want those bonus points, that's great. But I think don't be detrimental to actually shooting hits, because there's no point in getting bonus points and finishing early if you miss, right? That's, you're only getting 1/10 of a point per extra second versus an actual hit is 10 points versus a miss, which is 0. So you want to make sure you get hits. So I know it's kind of nice to like try to finish fast, but don't do it such that you sacrifice your actual hits. So it's kind of one thing I wanted to point out. I think the Course of Fire for this month is pretty decent. I think it should be a relatively straightforward with some added difficulty. I think it's a subtle difficulty to these stages, so it's not too hard for beginners, but yet it adds a little bit of extra difficulty factor for people, so it's not easy to clean, right? And I think that's what the key to NRL22 is, these Courses of Fire, is to make sure that we have stages that are good for beginners, but yet at the same time add a little bit of challenge to those who are sort of
expert shooters or whatever. So they have a fun time. One thing I wanted to bring up is I misplaced my CED 7000 shot timer, the smaller one. I was using my Big Pocket Pro or whatever you want to call that, whatever that one is. I can't find it, and there's a decent chance I probably left it here, but I put a post on the West End Gun Club forum to see if anyone found it. I should check with the range officers sometime. I'll email the RO I know I have his email, and I'll just ask them if somebody turned in a shot timer. Those things are $130, so $140. I ordered another one last night, but if it turns up, it turns up. But it kind of sucks that I misplaced it. I could have sworn I packed it in the Jeep when I last used it. And I remember that I didn't throw it in my bag. I thought I put it somewhere else because I had it in my pocket, and I took it out of my pocket after I packed up everything. But now I just can't find it. So I was turning over everything in the garage as far as on my workbench. Check my ammo boxes. I even checked my target box. So I thought I put it in there. I checked every single bag that I thought I might have just put it in haphazardly and couldn't find it. So anyway, I kind of bummed out about that. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I want to get something to eat. It's 12:30 already. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some good, helpful information. And again, I invite you all to the match if you're available and you want to shoot the match. October 11th, this upcoming Sunday, and the next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 4 days. 4 days from now, we got a match. Show up at 8 o'clock before the safety brief, and we'll shoot. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.